Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcasting Problem Solver. I'm Leah Bryant, podcast growth strategist and coach, here to help entrepreneurs podcast strategically with more clarity and better results. And today I'm super excited because it is a special one. We have a live coaching session with Jennifer Dent Brown.
Yay.
She is the host of Stop Dieting Forever. Oh my gosh, it's such a perfect title.
Winning already.
Yes. Jennifer and I started following each other because she was looking for ways to grow podcasts, and I instantly connected with her mission to help women live healthier, more empowered lives. And then after reviewing her show, I knew she'd be perfect guest for a live coaching session, and I'm so glad that she said yes. And before we dive in, though, let me officially introduce you to her. Jennifer is the leader of the Stop Dieting Forever movement and a life, health, and weight loss coach for women in their grown woman era. Yes, please, and thank you. She helps high-achieving women change their habits, hormones, and mindset so they can finally lose weight and become the woman who keeps it off. Through her signature shift method, Jennifer works with clients both one-on-one and inside her group program, Learn and Lose. She's also the host, as mentioned before, of the Stop Dieting Forever podcast, where she's redefining weight loss as an identity upgrade. Love that. Not just a number on the scale. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Leah. I'm excited to hear all the things about my podcast.
All the amazing things. Like I was telling you before we hit record, you're doing amazing. Lots of good things that you're doing and have been doing because you're at like 270.
73.
Yeah. So like you're doing so many amazing things. I feel like with these literally few tweaks, like it could just be like that bump that you're looking for to get you to where you want to go.
Okay.
And then especially like with these tweaks with like your episodes, and really because you have such great content, you just need to ask people to come work with you more often.
Okay. All right. I can do that.
Awesome. So the first thing I want to do, I should have did this a minute ago. So sorry about that. I wanted to bring up Apple Podcasts because I am better at showing than explaining.
Good, because I'm a visual person, so I like to see.
Good. Okay, so we've got this because I am a visual presenter. We've got this. All right. So I love the title of your podcast, Stop Dieting Forever. And then you have like your name and then your credentials, which is chef's kiss and important. I would love to see, and what would benefit you is if we take this section that I have highlighted, which is your name and your credentials, and we just put it into the author field, like in Podbean.
Okay.
Because all of that is keywords. And there's a reason why I want you to move it from here because I'm going to add more keywords into this title for you. Because the thing with your podcast is Stop Dieting Forever. Now, you primarily work with women. So we want to call that out. And you primarily work with women who are over 40. So we want to call that out. So what I want to do now is I'm going to show you some mock-ups. I went down a big rabbit hole. I was having way too much fun.
Okay.
If this is overwhelming, I am sorry.
No, this is perfect. I feel honored.
Okay. Well, thank you. Good. I'm glad. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is some mock-ups of new cover art that Stop Dieting Forever is still there, but we're adding a tagline and we're making your face bigger because you're gorgeous and we want to see all of that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's start here at the top. These pictures were on your website, so that's where I've got them, and I've got several, so I wanted to show you. And I couldn't find your exact fonts, but I just went with what I could find and think that it visually represented it, so obviously you can change all of this. So we have your Stop Dieting Forever with your name and your gorgeous picture, but then we have weight loss for women over 40. Now, obviously, if you don't want to use weight loss, you can use sustainable weight loss, healthy habits for women over 40. But the weight loss for women over 40 was really the one that was like a really great keyword, the weight loss for women over 40.
Okay.
It ranked pretty high. It didn't rank so high that you were going to get lost in the shuffle, but it ranked just high enough to where it would be really great for you to use.
Okay.
We're just making the name of the podcast bigger, and I'll show you why we want to do that and why that's so key. We added in the tagline, so it instantly calls out women. Now, do I think that men are on Apple Podcasts searching for stop dieting or wait? I mean, yes, they could be,
Yeah, I do have some male listeners.
but this is specifically going to call out who it's for.
Okay.
I really love this photo of you.
Okay.
It's super fun. I'm not a fan that it's facing away from your title, but I didn't know how to make it so that it wasn't. But just something to show you, something different to play with. And then this photo was, I forget where it was on your website, but I liked it too because it was a really great headshot of you. Now, I really love this picture. If you have this picture to where the top of your head wasn't cut off at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
No, I think it's fine. I think there's a way, because honestly, let's say something.
You would put the photo on top of the,
I mean, that actually, I like that.
That looks better.
I love this photo. And I was actually sharing this with a friend because, you know, you always like to get other people's opinion. And because we both love this shirt. And I like this.
Okay. I like it too.
I'll share this Canva template with you so that way you have your brand fonts. You could change the font so that it matches.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And then this tagline, like if you aren't 100% on board with the tagline, we can always talk through that later too about a different tagline. But when I was doing the research for like keywords and things for your podcast, this is what really came up.
If the keywords work, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so this weight loss for women over 40, that's actually what I would put in this highlighted section.
So stop dieting forever, weight loss for women over 40, and then in that subtitle.
And then in the author field, you would have Jennifer Dent Brown, health and life coach for women.
Okay. Where do I change that? On Apple or I change that on?
In Podbean.
My podcast host.
Yeah, in Podbean. So it should have an author field under, give me 1 second because I have how to do it for the keywords. So it should be settings general and it should be underneath of that tab. And then you should have your name of your podcast, your author field. And then there's also going to be a place where it says tags. And that's actually where we're going to put keywords in.
Okay.
So these keywords are going to help people find you. So you use keywords for the podcast as a whole. And then each episode also has the opportunity for you to add tags in, which is also another place to put keywords in. So obviously they're sprinkled into your description for your episodes, like that are specific to those episodes, but then you also want to put them into the tag section.
The tag section for each individual podcast?
Each episode, yes. So you have keywords, what they call tags in the posting platform. So you have tags for the podcast as a whole, okay? And then you have the tags and keywords for each episode. So like the hierarchy is, which I'll show you here in a second, which is it's 255 characters. So I use a lot of keyword phrases for yours because that's what women are going in to search for. There are these phrases versus like individual words. Now, if they are searching individual words, you will still come up because that is in the phrase. But I wanted to show you, because I'm not 100% sure what this little itty bitty line is called. But it's on your keyboard right above your return. So like when you do the stop dieting forever, you would put that line and then put the weight loss for women.
Okay.
Because that's like a separator.
Yep. Got it. I'm actually doing it now as we're talking.
Oh, awesome. Oh, this is so great. I love it. Okay. So those are the kind of like different options that you could think about. And I will share this with you. And then, like I said, if you wanted to choose one, that's fine. You could change it up. But I really love like bringing it closer, seeing your gorgeous face, making the name much bigger so that people are like, oh, well, stop dieting forever. I need that. Weight loss for women over 40. Yes. So
yeah, I like number 4 too.
You like number 4?
I like
perfect.
That picture.
Yeah. And then when you save this and export it from your computer, you are going to save it. So like in Canva, when you download it, because this is really important, image optimization. So you're going to do stop dieting. Oh, if I could spell. Oh, goodness. I'm glad this isn't a spelling podcast. Dieting forever with Jennifer Dent Brown. And then it would be like .png or something, right? Because that's going to have the title of your podcast and your name in it. And that's important too.
Oh.
So like anytime you use something like with the podcast, you always want to save like those photos as the title of the episode with the dashes. Yeah. If there's no dashes, Google reads it as one long word versus the dashes, it sees it as separate words. So yeah, so when you export that, you'll save it there. Now, the reason why I was saying you want to make your podcast name big is because when you put it into the player, like, see how that pops out at you? Like, Stop Dying Forever. And I did each one of them so that you could see what it would look like.
Okay.
And there's that one. I did the one that faced the other way too. This one has more of the couch showing and more of your fun shoes, and this one doesn't. Okay.
I like that picture too. It's just not the right color outfit.
That makes sense. And then here's the one with the white. And then this is the one that I really like.
Okay.
See how it just stands out so much better?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not saying that your cover art is bad right now, because obviously it's done very well for you. You're a top 2% podcast, I think it was that I saw.
I am?
So, I mean, yeah, hold on just a second. I'm almost positive you were top 2 point.
Oh, wow. I don't even know where to look for that.
You could go to Listen Notes, and there's lots of people that have lots of opinions about this. But
oh my goodness,
it is showing that you're ranked at the top 2.5% of the podcast in your category.
Look at me.
Yes. So see, you're doing really great. And like your cover art, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that with a few tweaks, I think it could just be even better for you.
Okay, perfect.
I think you're doing everything right. Okay. So we covered the podcast name with adding the subtitle to call out the keywords for who it's for and all the things. And then for the author field, I don't know, like because I know you have this shift, and I saw the reinvent too on your website. And then I don't know. Well, so you could put whatever here you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to put anything there at all if you don't want to.
I mean, what's the point?
So it's essentially like putting in keywords that are specific to you.
Okay.
Right? So your name and your credentials. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have this if you don't want to, but if there's a framework that you're tied to in the Googleverse, that if somebody is Googling it.
I mean, I say identity-based weight loss. I don't know if people are Googling that, but that's how I explain what I teach.
Okay. So I was looking that up. Nobody is Googling identity-based weight loss, but if you did it like a page on your website that talked about identity-based and tied it into like your approach and all the things, it could pull in that way, and it would pull correlating keywords, like correlating words within the identity base, because that's one of the problems I was trying to figure out how to get that into your keywords. But that's just a thought.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't have to. You could leave it just at health coach for women. Health and life coach for women over 40.
Okay.
Okay, now your description. I think your description is great. I think it could be a little better, adding a little bit more oomph, lots of good keywords, and then some very popular questions that people are asking on Google. Because if they do that in Google, you're going to come up, right? And then
that's such a good idea.
Your podcast will come up. Yeah. So essentially, it's just like talking about what it is and who it's for, right? And then again, you can change any of this that you want to, but rooted in your frameworks, practical coaching, your mindset shifts, all that good stuff. And then hosted by you, and what they're going to learn, and then what the podcast is going to provide. And then, hey, we're going to answer some of these questions. And what you could do too is in your downloads, if you sort those by highest downloaded episodes, you could potentially take the title and make that a question and put that in here.
Yep. I already know what it is. It's about how to stay motivated, or why am I inconsistent, or something like that. Something about consistency or motivation.
Yes.
Why am I not motivated?
Because I know you talk a lot about mindset shifts. If there's something here that you don't feel that's aligned with you, you could take it out and put the consistency in there, that episode.
Okay. But that's the number of questions that you recommend? I mean, all those questions look good.
Between 8 and 10.
Okay.
And they don't necessarily have to be bulleted. I don't think mine are bulleted. So it's up to you however you want that to look in the players. You can play around with that, because I know sometimes the players are different.
Okay. Where do I update that again? Is that also in Podbean?
It is in Podbean.
Okay.
And it would also be underneath of the settings, general settings. It should be in that same area where your podcast name is and your author field is. It should say...
Oh, the brief description?
Yes. And I honestly don't know if there's a limit for Podbean. You'll have to let me know. And if so, we can condense this down.
Okay. Doesn't look like it.
And then this one, wish it would have up on this page, but I want you to put in a link to your newsletter here. So that way it's there and it's calling people out that they can, and obviously you can change the wording here too to match your brand, because I know that you say a lot of fun things. And I love the way that you ask people to do that. So I would make sure that that's in there.
Okay.
So the next thing, and I'm not 100% sure, and I should have looked this up, so forgive me, how many categories that Podbean lets you select. Does it let you only select one, or does it have a space where if you click, it'll let you select more?
I'm in 3. So health and fitness, and then education, self-improvement, and then health and fitness, mental health.
Look at you. You have my suggestions, because I could only see the first one, which was the health and fitness.
Health and fitness.
So that first category, do you have the subcategory selected, or is it only health and fitness?
It's just health and fitness.
I would honestly think about niching that down. So like health and fitness nutrition would be like your first one, because that's the one that Apple only recognizes like the first. And then health, fitness, mental health. Because you talk a lot about mindset. And then the education, self-improvement.
Oh, perfect.
These 3 will fit. And then just because Apple doesn't recognize the others, there's other players that will.
Education, self-improvement.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's like a working session, Leah.
I love it. This makes me really excited that you're just so willing to do all of this. I love this. So what I also want you to do too is when we're done, I want you to go in and, I don't know, however you track your metrics, but like take a screenshot or make a mental note or whatever you want to do. So that way, you know, within like a couple weeks, you could check it to see what happens. And then definitely at like the 30-day mark, check it. Because a lot of these changes, you should start to see instant movement.
Oh, yay.
But some of them may take a minute, because I know that, especially like with Google, it may take like 6 to 8 weeks for it to pick up on all the changes. But the podcast platforms are fairly quick. So depending on if people are finding you, the majority are finding you within the players, or if they're Googling things and finding you that way too. So just kind of keep that in mind. The next thing I wanted to talk about is your intro. Okay, first of all, I love it. It is a tad on the long side.
I know. I had a lot to say. I try to say it fast too.
I know. So the thing of it is that with your intro, our attention spans are like, you know, so short nowadays because of all the internet stuff that we do. So the rule of thumb is, honestly, I like to keep intros between 30 and 45 seconds, because you really have to hook people within the first 3 minutes of the show.
Wow.
I know. Now, I haven't listened to your trailer. But if your trailer says any of the same things that your intro does.
Trailer is more like a call to action to sign up for the newsletter. This is good, because I was about to record the trailer because I have a free training now that I want to promote.
So technically what you could do is take your intro, everything you have in your intro, keep it as is, add in your new call to actions, and keep that as your trailer. Because you want to think of your trailer, it's like a movie trailer, right? It's that short introduction to what's coming. You're essentially asking people, it's a low lift for them because it's not requesting a lot of their time. Because usually that's the first thing people go to is listen to the trailer if they want to listen to the podcast as a whole. I mean, unless they're peeping like that last episode, like, okay, yes, I want to listen to that about GLP-1s.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're talking about the trailer. I'm thinking of like the outro. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So you're saying take the intro and make that the trailer.
Yeah. Like what you have currently as your intro.
With a call to action.
Because when I transcribed it, I think it was about 2 minutes. Does that sound right?
It's about 2 minutes, yeah.
About 2 minutes? Because I think that would be a perfect trailer length.
Yeah, I did the trailer so many years ago. I don't even remember what it says or how long it is or anything. I should probably go listen to it.
It looked like it said it was 10 minutes.
I'll go listen to it. I'm just curious.
Because you've been podcasting for a minute, so that's totally fine. And it's totally fine to update and revamp because, you know, like ourselves, like we evolve, right? Our podcast can evolve, our businesses evolve as they should. So, so think about maybe taking the intro that you have. You could re-record it if you want to, or take what you have and add on your call to action or whatever you want to do. And I'm happy to help you with this too, to talk through like what would best serve your audience. to really like dive into what would be the best for not only like having them come listen to your show, but also conversions, right? We want them on your email list and we want them to come follow you on Instagram. We want them to do all the things and your workshop that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think you said a workshop.
Okay. So I update the trailer. Is that on Podbean too?
Yes. So that would be...
When I upload it, I need to mark it as trailer. Okay.
Yeah. And I can walk you through that. You don't want to delete your current trailer because when you delete it, it also deletes those downloads. You'll just want to unpublish it.
Okay.
And I can definitely walk you through how to do all that too. That's not a problem. When you get close to do that, just let me know.
Okay.
So I have some options for like a shorter. These are still a little longer than... I think that this would be okay for your audience. I don't think that they are so busy where they couldn't listen to these. I think these are less than a minute. This one's even shorter. But honestly, if you wanted to take your current intro and put it as your trailer, you could really just take this part and just make that the opening to each episode. So kind of like how I did when we came on the air today.
Oh, you mean I like speak it?
You just say it every time you record. Yeah. And just have like a 5-6 second music because I like your music. I think it's fabulous. I don't want you to lose your music. So like have that coming in and then you come in, welcome to, and then go right into your topic.
Okay.
Because the idea is we want to instantly get them, right?
Yeah.
And if we have a 2-minute long intro, they may not stay around for the episode. Or they'll fast forward. And then you're like, I wasted all my time doing the intro. You're not even listening to it.
I think I was, because I had started doing like a kind of standard intro. But then I'm like, do I say this in my recorded intro? I feel like there might have been some duplications.
And that's one of the things I'll show you later is that I did a flow of an episode review for you. And there are quite a few different places where it's duplicated. And we can really just tighten this up and shorten it up and make it more succinct. Is that the right word I want to use?
I got you. I'm following.
Thank you. You're picking up what I'm putting down. But to be able to help, like just go right into the episode.
Okay.
So I'll share that with you later for the episode flow that I was talking about. Okay, so I have the keywords here too, because I want you to, or if you're not using any kind of like tags in Podbean, I want you to put these in there.
I got lazy with the tags.
No, I get it. But these are a lot of what's going to help bring in folks because when they're going into, specifically the podcast players, because when I go to Google, I am more apt to type in a longer sentence versus when I'm in the podcast player, I'm just typing in words, not necessarily a whole sentence, right?
Okay.
So I may put in sustainable weight loss or women over 40 lose weight without dieting, all of these phrases, I should say. In there so that way you'll have more of a chance to show up because this would be the podcast as a whole. And then like these are some other keywords that they were ranked high, but not high enough where I wanted to remove any of these up here.
I see.
You could essentially sprinkle these into your episodes.
Okay. Redefine weight loss, lifestyle change to lose weight.
Weight loss mindset coach.
Weight loss mindset coach. Okay.
Like I said, every episode will also have that tag field. So you can put those in there. And then obviously you want to make sure you're using whatever the topic is for each episode. That topic is going to have keywords. And there's a couple of different ways you could do this. You could like go to Google and type in what you think is a keyword and see what comes up. You can ask ChatGPT to help you with this. Now, ChatGPT doesn't know the exact ranking of a keyword, but it will help pull out common themes in an episode. That would more than likely be a great keyword for the episodes.
Okay. So I can put in literally like my outline into ChatGPT and say, pull out the keywords.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say, I would even get more granular and say, pull out 10 SEO optimized keywords or phrases.
Okay.
And see what it pulls out. Now, obviously, you can look at that because you know your audience and you know what your industry and say, okay, chat, you're losing your mind because that's not even true. I don't even know. So you could change it up. If the wording placements or how that it's providing that to you doesn't sound right, just change it to make sure that it's something that a human would put in.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yep. Yeah. Okay. And I'll share this with you. This is essentially like where to put it And then each episode, it has a tag.
Perfect. This is so helpful.
I just love helping people. So I'm glad it's being well received and not overwhelming because I'm good at that too.
No, this is great.
That's $255. Obviously, you can change some of these if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I look at it, I don't know if I want that comma there. I think I want to say weight loss no, I think I want women over 40. Just like that. Because I would type in weight loss women over 40 and not put 4. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just talking through things. Because sometimes like what we're typing into a search may not make sense grammatically. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, because you're just picking up the key word. You don't need to have a grammatically correct sentence or phrase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like for each episode, I would make sure there's at least 3 to 6 that is sprinkled in your description, which is easy to do. Mm-hmm. And then you could put those into the tag section for that too.
Okay.
Now, I want to pause and ask you what questions you have.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I understand. So when I do the episode, I record the episode, I have my outline, put it into ChatGPT and say, pull out 10 optimized keywords or phrases, and then include it in the show notes or description of the episode. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the keywords that you have here, those are the ones that I will put into every episode in Podbean.
These are only for like the podcast as a whole. I mean, they may come up in an episode. Okay. But you don't necessarily have to use these for each individual episode. Mm-hmm. This is more thinking about like your podcast as a whole. Thinking about like all the topics you've talked about, your most popular ones, the topics you want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Like this should encompass essentially like your jam, like what you're talking about, what you love to do. Okay. And if not, obviously we can change that to make sure that it's including, that it does encompass the things that you are talking about.
Podbean, they only give you a certain number of keywords, and then you have to like upgrade if you want to customize them. That's why I just stopped using that feature.
That makes sense.
Because I wasn't sure whether I was using it effectively or not. So I was like, I don't even know if this works or not.
Okay, well, just to let you know, I'm a big fan of Buzzsprout.
Uh-oh.
I have used Podbean with clients before. I don't think that it's a bad platform. I think that the tags that you're talking about where it limits you, is that for episode specific or is it podcast specific?
It says episode tags. Is that?
Yeah, so the episode tags is only going to let you put in how many in there?
I already have them all filled out. So if I want to delete one, then it's going to delete it from every episode that I've ever added it to.
Don't do that.
What happens if I try to add one.
I didn't realize that about Podbean.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Maybe because I need to do a new episode.
Yeah, you can let me know. Because, I mean, if it only lets you put like a couple, first of all, you know your audience. You could be like, is this something my audience would put in? Search. You could even pull your current clients.
What they were searching for.
I've done that,
because I get, some clients from my podcast. I'm always like, how did you find me? And they're all like, anti-diet, or they're searching stop dieting. Yeah. So that usually comes up.
I love that a lot. So I think that would be really good. And we can work through the keywords in the hosting. That's totally fine. But I would definitely make sure that the podcast, like we add that extension to the name, that we are at least putting in your name and your credentials, because that's always important, because people may put in health coach, life coach, things like that, and that will come up, or for women over 40. And then think about updating the description. I should have looked to see if Podbean had a limit for their podcast description. I'm sorry, I did not. But if it's shorter, we can definitely figure out that. And then the keywords we can work on. And then you already had these, which that's chef's kiss, amazing. And then work on converting your existing intro into your trailer and adding in those call to actions for your workshop. Or whatever you're wanting people to come to, I would definitely put that in there.
Okay.
And then making your intro, like I said, you could tweak that. And you could even tweak, like, I'm here to show you how to finally stop dieting forever. If you wanted to change that to something like each episode, like whatever the topic, you could do that too. Or you could just keep it the same, right? And just say that as you're going in.
So the recorded intro is the shorter one?
So you could do it 2 ways. You could record it and use it over and over again, or you could just put it in your outline and just say it at the beginning of every episode.
Okay. So do you recommend having a recorded intro anymore or no?
So I am actually in the process of trying to push clients to not have a standard intro, just because our attention spans are so short. Because if you can open your podcast with literally a 2-sentence welcome and then hook them with something, because you do a really good job at that, especially with that GLP-1 episode where you had your hook at the beginning and then you went into your intro. You could say your hook if you wanted, bring them in, right? And then say these 2 sentences, or you could say these 2 sentences and do your hook to bring them in.
Okay. So no music, or keep the music?
I would keep your music, 5 or 6 seconds at the beginning.
Okay.
So do you edit in Riverside?
Yes.
So their editor, they are doing a lot of phenomenal things. So you should be able to, I see what you're saying. Okay. So I got to think about this. I'm in where I do this not in Riverside. So let me step outside of myself.
Well, I usually have my intro, I send it to somebody in Fiverr. So I record it, I give him the music, he puts it together, and then he sends me the file, and I just drop it in the beginning of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you can still do that. But don't send it to Fiverr. Send it to Leah, and Leah will do that for you. I won't charge you anything. We can do this together. Because I believe in what you're doing, and I want to get it out there for you.
Okay.
And help you. So
got it. No Fiverr.
I mean, unless you want to. Look, I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
I love it.
If you want to do Fiverr, please. But the option is there for you to utilize.
Thank you.
Yes. So I would still keep start your music faded in. I would go no more than maybe 5 or 6 seconds to let you start saying that welcome. I mean, honestly, you could probably take the music all the way till you're ready. Let's dive in, and then fade it out there too, depending on how long it takes you to say those couple of sentences.
Okay.
And then it's something you can always play around with, right? That's the great thing about podcasting. Nothing is set in stone. If you do this and you're like, I just don't know if I like this. Or maybe your audience is like, no, I loved your intro. Please bring it back. It just depends. It's whatever fits and works for you, right? Because at the end of the day, that's why I really do love podcasting, because you can change things up all the time. There's nothing set in stone. So the whole idea is just to get people really quickly into the door so they can just start, consuming your content.
Thank you for giving me permission to change some things.
Yes, always.
Because right now I always introduce the podcast number, and I'm just like, I want to stop doing that.
Yes, you can stop doing that. Yeah.
Especially when I want to reuse podcasts, and I'm like, but I already said the whole podcast number. Yeah. I'm like, all right, so we're not doing that anymore. That's an easy fix.
You could still reuse that. Even though you said that, you could still reuse that and just put it in your show notes that it's a replay. You could change the title.
I've done that. Yep.
And you can change up the show notes or the episode description, and then just put in there that it's a replay of a most popular or fan favorite or whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Big fan of repurposing that way, especially during the holidays or during
summertime.
Life's busy season. Yeah. Summertime, all of that. Yes. Okay. So one last thing, because I know that you called out that you promote your podcast via email, and then you say sometimes you post sometimes on social media.
Very inconsistently. I've been doing the shorts, but I don't even do the shorts consistently. And they don't always redirect to my podcast. Sometimes it's just the clip and book a call.
Okay. And this will also be in the doc that I share with you. So I will say the podcast players, they have an algorithm kind of like social media, meaning within the first 3 days of an episode being published, you want to pull as many people in to listen, because the more people that are listening within those 3 days, the more it's going to start showing your podcast to other people.
Okay.
So the idea is within that 3 days, you want to really push the podcast on social. Now, I know you post on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. It may have been Threads, but I started following you on Threads, and you said that you didn't realize that the things weren't posting as they should.
It's so confusing.
So confusing. Now, Wherever you get the most interaction, I would just focus on that platform. Now, if it's both Facebook and Instagram, then obviously I would still focus on those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kind of roll through this example with you. So your episodes publish on a Wednesday.
Correct.
What time do you have those set to publish?
Midnight Eastern time.
Perfect. I was going to say that time frame, the midnight and the 1 a.m. is the perfect because lots and lots and lots of people go for that 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you get lost in the shuffle at 4 a.m. And then when you're back the midnight to 1, you're reaching people. And I don't know if you work with people outside of the United States, but you're reaching people everywhere, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's a great time. So if your podcast publishes on Wednesday, so Wednesday, and you're going to be like, Leah, this is a lot. And I know, but I believe in you and I believe this is going to work. We can do this. So Wednesday morning, I will love for you to post a carousel. Now, there's a strategy behind this madness. So Google is now indexing, reading all the things that you post on Instagram. So every carousel that you post is literally something that Google is reading. So if you put keywords on those graphics that Google is going to read, that's just more opportunities for people to find
it. Okay.
So that first carousel could be 4 takeaways from the episode. And I have an example that I want to show you here in a second that I did, that I started for you, and I can finish it. And then Wednesday afternoon, I would love for you to go live.
Oh.
I know you do you have gone live before. You call it your Wednesdays.
Weight Loss Wednesday.
Weight Loss Wednesday. Now, are those related to your episode topic or no?
I mean, I could make it related. It's basically a Q&A. I just started doing it this month. I always end up talking about the podcast episode somehow, some way.
Yes. So if you did a Q&A about that podcast episode, right? So where you're not giving all of it away, but you could be like, I talked about this on the podcast today. What questions do you have? I mean, you could even ramp up your audience if you plan ahead of time that you could, put it in stories or something. So that way you can kind of draw people to come to your live for that. Just to have more engagement, right? And then what day do you send your newsletter?
Friday.
Okay, perfect. Wednesday, we've got the carousel post with 4 takeaways. And then we have the live stream, your Weight Loss Wednesday. Thursday in the morning, I would love if you could do a carousel.
It's there's more.
I know. But the great thing is you could create templates and just change out the words.
Okay.
Because that's what people are really looking for, right? Not necessarily the pretty pictures.
The aesthetics of it.
Yeah.
So Thursday morning, another carousel?
For opportunities.
Okay.
Because
what does that mean?
So the person that I learned this from, they said mistakes. I don't like mistakes because I feel like mistakes has a negative connotation with it. So I flipped that to say, what are some opportunities that someone could do about this topic? So specifically for the GLP-1, essentially the carousel could be your quiet season is your opportunity. So if you're on a GLP-1 right now and the food noise is quiet, this is your moment. Don't waste it. That would be slide 1.
I see.
And then slide 2 could be while your appetite is calm, your brain is ready to rewire.
So it's opportunities for success or opportunities to reach your goal. Okay.
Yeah. About whatever topic that is.
Okay.
And then Thursday afternoon, and obviously you can look at your analytics to see when people are most active with you and do this as you see that it needs to fit for that. But then Thursday afternoon would be a reel. Could be just a clip from the episode. And Riverside does a great job. I mean, sometimes they need a little tweaking with their clips, with their shorts or whatever, but you can go in and pull some of those.
Okay.
And then Friday morning, you have your newsletter, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And if you don't make the whole newsletter about your podcast episode, that's fine. I would just at least put a nugget in there, something to entice them to go listen.
Which I have not been doing, but okay, I will.
Definitely add it in. You could even put it, since a lot of people scroll all the way to the PS anyway, you can always put it in your PS.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, podcast episode out this week talking about blah, blah, blah. And then Friday afternoon, do another reel. And that could be a B-roll where you maybe take any kind of video that you have and talk over it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing something or working out or whatever. Or you can don't even have to talk over it. You could put words on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Just something about the episode to bring them in.
Okay.
And I know it's a lot. And I know.
I mean, I want to get the word out. And
yes,
once I do it, like we can systematize this and I can have my assistant help me.
Exactly.
So with these posts,
Mm-hmm.
the CTA should always be like, go listen to this episode.
Yes.
Okay.
Or go listen to this episode. And if you need the link, send me a DM.
Okay.
Because then you're inviting them into your DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure you have a link in bio for your podcast.
I took it out. I had one. My coach was like, nope, when everybody booking a call. So I only have one link.
So is your link in bio, is it a third-party link?
No, it's directly in Instagram.
Oh, it's just the book a call.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you
Now,
can put two links now on Instagram.
you can. But I also want to say another great thing that you can do too is, so I have a link in bio, but it lives on my website. So I'm getting the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So they can grab my free resource. They can come book a coaching call. They want my newsletter. They can listen to the podcast. They can see my case study, all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what this does is they're like, okay, I click the link in bio. I see the things, but I want to know more about Leah. And then they can click to go to like the homepage, the resources, all the things, and see more about me. So it's sharing the links, but it's also having them into your world versus they may not necessarily be able to do that if your book a call is on Calendly or if you're sharing like Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could if you shared the link for your website for the podcast.
I used to have a links page. Like when I got my webpage redesign, we did create a link page. I just haven't been posting it, but I can definitely dust it off.
Just because you want to create that more traffic to your website too, because then people get to know you more.
Mm-hmm.
And your website is really great. So I think that would be a really great thing to do.
Okay.
And then one more thing, and then I promise I'll stop, and then I'll share the other stuff I have with you off.
This is fantastic.
Another great way to build up a podcast audience is guesting on other podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often or if you have or if you would be interested in doing that.
I do. I don't pitch myself regular. Like tomorrow I'm recording one.
Oh, awesome.
So I try to do like one a month.
Yeah. No, if you could do one a month, that's great. I have a speaker one sheet that I can send you.
Okay.
That you can like essentially fill out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can give it to people because it's like it talks about you and all the good things and shares all the information.
Okay.
And I've shared that with Rafer and he says that he's been using it and loves it. And then I shared it with someone else and they were like, this is amazing. So yes, I will share it with you too. Because when you're guesting like that, obviously you're talking about your brilliance and the things that you love to talk about and helping people, but you're being introduced to a new audience that may not have known you otherwise. And I think one a month is great.
I mean, that's what I try.
Yeah.
I'm not intentional about it. It's just happening like the end of this year. I'm like, oh, another podcast interview. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been working out. So
if that's something that like, if you maybe just set a goal, like if you could do like 4 or 5, right? In like the first half of next year.
Okay.
I mean, 12 would be great. I mean, that would be a phenomenal. Obviously, if you do any within the year, that's fabulous. But more podcasts that you can be on, that's just more people that get to know you.
Okay.
And then obviously your bio that you share with the host of the podcast that you're on, I would always just make sure that you mention your podcast too.
Okay, good. I do corporate workshops too. So
good.
I tend to forget. I tell them about all the other stuff, but I should definitely mention the podcast too.
Most definitely. That speaker one sheet will help with that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. You mentioned before we started recording that I need to tell people more often how to work with me. What's your recommendation of how to weave that into an episode?
Storytelling. Okay. So for example, with your GLP-1 episode, right after you say these medications can reset your appetite, but they can't rewire your brain. This is where you would say, and if you're ready to learn how to rewire your brain for lasting results, make sure you're on my email list forever well. That's where I break down how to stop self-sabotage between episodes. You can join at, and then like say your link or just say the link is below. Because this will get your opt-in mention. That's within the first few minutes, right? And then another one option is to weave in when you introduce the Forever Well essentials, sleep, nutrition, stress, and mind management and movement. You could add a soft pitch there. These are the same 4 pillars I coach my clients through inside my programs. It's how they stop dieting for good, even after they've been on medication, because that connects the transformation with the offer.
Oh, okay.
And then you should always, I don't care if you use the same client story in every single episode. I mean, I know you have lots of client success stories, so you don't have to do that. But if you're listening and you're like, but Leah, I only have one, use it. There's lots of different aspects and ways you could talk about that client success, but you could weave it in to every episode.
Okay.
Because that leads back to your offers.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I talk about my clients. I talk about myself, success stories.
Which is always the best.
Yeah. So you're saying connect the transformation to the episode, use the client success stories to lead to my offer. So basically just kind of like weaving it in naturally.
Yes. So it doesn't feel like it's salesy, like it's a sales pitch. It just weaves in.
Yeah. So that's what I've done before. I've done my own commercials like in the middle of the episode or...
Which you should always do.
Up front, I'll do a commercial like when I'm launching, it'll be super specific. But okay.
Just weaving it in.
Naturally talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously what you're talking about in each episode, you're helping people with. So there should be a way where you can naturally weave in, this is something that I help clients with, or this is something that I've seen a client that we walk through this and work through this, and this is the result that they saw. And then if you wanted to, I wouldn't say it every time you weaved in something like that, but like maybe 2 or 3 times within the episode.
Okay.
I would weave in that call to action. You don't want to leave your call to action to the very end because they may not make it to the very end.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. It's at the end.
I would do a call to action within the first 15 minutes, depending on how long your episode is. I would do it within the first little bit. I would do it mid-episode, and then I would do it at the end.
At the end. Okay.
Right. And I wouldn't have 3 different call to actions. I would stick with 2. I would love to have 1, but I know you have your newsletter.
Yeah, I have the training now, the newsletter, and then book a call. Like, let's just do a consult.
So what you could do is whatever you want to push the most, I would use that the most for that episode. If you really want to drive people to your newsletter, I would say that a couple times and then mention your training. Because your book a call, I think that you could weave that in too, not necessarily have it to be like 3 call to actions, but you could say, is the training, is that like a workshop or is that?
It's a webinar that I did that converted really well. So I just turned it into a funnel.
Let me think about that because it could be something like have your call to action be the training. And then you could say, if you have specific questions or you have something about your situation that you're curious about, you can always feel free to reach out to me to book a consult. Like that just kind of like weaves it in. Like, oh, hey, like if you have a question that may not be answered in the training or something that's specific to you, definitely feel free to reach out.
Okay. And just make it kind of natural.
Yeah, natural and conversational. Because like your goal is to help people.
I'll say send me a DM on Instagram.
Definitely. Because if they come to your DMs, you can always share your book a call link from there.
Yeah.
People, they want to be asked to do something because we're never going to do something if we're not asked to go do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if we don't put the offer out there, they're not going to have an offer to say yes to. So any way to invite them in. And if it doesn't feel natural for you to say book a call, then definitely say come to the DMs. Because I feel like people are more apt to be able to go to Instagram to ask you a question than book a call.
Right. Because they want to go look at the Instagram first, and then they decide whether they want to ask a question or book a call.
So maybe you can always just like push that instead of like the book the call. You can have it in your episode descriptions.
Okay.
And then you can always obviously share that in the DMs. But like if you have people coming to you in the DMs, I would definitely share that. Because that's at least getting them to talk with you, start the conversation. You have control over it that way versus book a call. You're kind of like leaving it up in the air.
You have no idea.
Right.
Who's going to book a call? Okay. And what they want to do, their motivation is.
Yeah. And then just make sure that your Instagram link is in your show notes too, like in the episode description.
Okay. This is super helpful. I'm going to add the links page back. I'm going to try all of the postings. Actually, no, I'm going to commit to doing it. I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And then here's the thing too. I don't know how many times you're posting about the podcast now, but even if it's just one time in those 3 days of any of the things I mentioned, I think that's better, right? Because doing something, even if it's minimal, is better than just once or, yeah. I also wanted to say one more thing. So when you are asking for like that social share, like the prompting, like a lot of people say, oh, share this with a friend. We want to make it intentional to us in our episode. So instead of saying share this with a friend, you could say, send this episode to a friend who's on a GLP-1 or thinking about it. You'll help her build habits that last. Because when you do it that way, it's essentially framing it as an act of service and not a promotion.
Oh, I love that.
Because you're helping people. And then that way, if, I know Susie, she's on a GLP-1 journey. Yeah, let me send this to her because
I love that. This is
helpful.
an act of service. Yep.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense. That last episode that I did, it was just based off of kind of the information I was getting from the consultations I've been doing. So I was like, let me see how this topic lands.
Is it landing?
Slowly. I mean, it looks about average.
And I wonder if instead of Ozempic, you just say GLP-1.
I was testing it out because I had done GLP-1 before in other podcasts and then on ChatGPT. And I was like, should I just use Ozempic? I was like, if people are searching for that specifically.
Here's the thing too. So if you put GLP-1 in the title, so you don't actually have GLP-1 in the episode description. So you do have Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. So if they're typing in Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro, or GLP-1, then that way you're coming up. So you have all three.
I'm changing it right now.
And see. I would love to, let me know.
I'm actually going to put an episode tag in there too.
Yeah. And then one more thing, and I promise I will stop.
Wait, tell me all the things. I'm here for it.
So please do as I say, not as I do. Because even though my episodes are planned in advance, I may not always have them recorded in advance. But if you can plan these in advance and stick to it, I think that at the end, if you can, lead them into the next episode. For instance, like after the final line about identity catching up with biology, is that in your outro or is that at the end of the episode? Like, was that at the end of the episode? Okay. You could say something like, next week, I'm sharing how to rebuild trust with your body, especially if you've been dieting for years. You don't want to miss it because it's going to boost that cliffhanger, especially if it's tied together.
That's a good point because in January, I'm planning to do a series.
Perfect.
So like it would be a 4-week series. So I could potentially do that with that series.
Most definitely. And like that's a great time of year, especially for your niche of podcasts. Even now, like with the holidays. I don't know if you talk a lot about like eating, holidays, all the things. Yes. Like all those topics. I don't know if you have your content planned out for
spice season kicks off the season of eating.
Yes. Goodness, yes.
I was just on a call and the lady was like, I'm just eating my Halloween candy here. And I'm like, then we went down the whole rabbit hole of like, what candy you liked as kids. And
yes. 'Tis the season, so it begins.
Oh, that's a good idea for a series. I like that. 'Tis the season.
Yes. Now, I will say the holidays, maybe not so much for your niche, but podcasting in general, the holidays, while listeners are still listening, it does go down just a smidge because people are holidaying. Because when they listen to you regularly, you're in their daily routine. And during the holidays, we are not in our regular routine. So therefore, we are not maybe doing the same things as in listening to the podcast. I would still put that series out there because, especially for your niche, I think it would be really impactful.
Okay.
Even if it's after the holidays, people will still want to.
Oh, I have a workshop that I usually do for the holidays called Eat, Drink, and Stay the Same Size.
Love it.
I think that could be a fun series. I can just break the workshop up basically to a podcast series.
Oh, most definitely.
And that'll just take care of November content and I can just get ahead of it and record everything at one time.
Yes. I love it.
All right. That's perfect.
So the key takeaway is that you are doing lots of amazing things.
Oh, thank you, Leah.
Right? Just a couple of tweaks. I think that it's really going to be like the kicker. And the great thing is like if those tweaks are successful but may not bring as much success as you want, you could always like just keep continuing to like
tweaking,
mold and change and tweaking. Yeah.
I think definitely using more of the keywords is going to help, especially since I'm finding people are like searching. That's how they find my podcast, because they're searching for something.
Yes.
And I'm always like, oh, okay. That's great.
And changing that tagline in your podcast title.
Yeah, yes. I just did that.
And then the author name. Yeah, I think it's going to be really great. All right. Do you have any other questions?
Not at this moment. I do not. I've got lots of notes.
If you have questions, you know, you have my DMs. They're always there.
Yeah. You do podcast editing?
Yes. I do production and the coaching side. Yeah, I do all of it.
Oh, okay.
I've been producing for 5 years now.
Okay, good.
It's my jam.
That's good to know.
Yes. Before we end this, I want to make sure that people can find you, follow you, work with you, listen to your amazing podcast, all the things. So I would love for you to tell folks where they can connect with you. Like, where's the best places to find you online? Is there anything that you're working on now that you want to share? Please share.
Well, you can find my podcast. And my website is jenniferdent.com. And on Instagram, where I found Leah, you can find me at Jennifer Dent Brown.
Yes, I love your Instagram too. So make sure you go follow her for sure. So Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the Podcasting Problem Solver. It has been so much fun talking with you today and going through all the fun things that we can tweak to make your podcast even more fabulous than it already is. And I would love to have you back maybe in like 3 months or so to talk about like what changes you've made, even though we know some of those you made like instant right now on the I love it. How it's going, all the things. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for your time. This has been amazing, and I can't wait to come back in 90 days and just tell you how my podcast is blown up.
Yes.
And how I'm fully booked and everything is just wonderful.
I love it. All right, friend. That is a wrap on today's live coaching session with Jennifer. I hope listening to us work through her strategy sparked a few ideas for your own show, because these kind of tweaks are often the difference between I'm posting episodes and my podcast is finally growing with me. If you're listening and thinking, I want someone to take a look at my podcast the way Leah just did for Jennifer, then go to the description below and book your podcast growth audit. It's where I review your show, your positioning, and your workflow, and give you a clear strategic recommendations you can implement immediately. You'll walk away knowing exactly what's working, what's stalling your growth, and what to fix first. The link is below. And if you want to talk through whether an audit is the right next step for you, send me a DM on Instagram at LeahBryant_co. I'm always happy to point you in the right direction. Thanks so much for tuning in today. And until next time, keep your podcast purposeful, keep creating with intention, and your growth seamless. And I'll see you next time.